A lot of people don't seem to understand the weird inclusivity of online racists and the pipeline of hate as a whole, or how events like January 6th or MAGA Civil War happens. The big overarching principle to understand is that your brain is a computer, and it needs to save space and be as efficient as possible because there's a lot to do. Where possible, people think in terms of quick references, rules of thumb, and don't question what they don't have to. I'm just a quiet white girl, but that means bad people play with an open hand around me, and I want to tell you about that. The road to hate is paved with a lot more naive ignorance than malice, because the really malicious people who built those roads want it that way. Stage 1 is references. When you're new to a group, you'll start to see in-jokes, words they use, references, memes, culture. To most of them, that's what this is. And groups of young boys and men playing video games together online will be very racist together. But those friend groups may be really diverse. They don't care what race you're from as long as you're racist, because that's the real culture they're sharing together. And it's sad because racial minorities get social clout from engaging in that. It's sort of a self-deprecating humor thing. To them, it's basically sports. Yes, it's something they're doing, but there's no greater intent to it than doing the wave at a baseball game. This is what drives homophobic femboys in the alt-right and trans-inclusive radical misogyny on the far left. It's an impersonal way to buy social credit. The key to crack this stage is self-awareness. Hey, what are you doing? What are you saying? Don't you know that's weird and racist? And they'll snap out of it, cringe, and back away. But the more you insist they are deliberately, intentionally, maliciously bigoted, they don't think that's true, so they discredit you in their heads. This is why the alt-right tells younger members to spread messages that are ironic, so they start to get feedback that no one understands them like the alt-right can. Stage 2 is moral reality. It's not rational or efficient to be skeptical about everything. We trust we're normal, we want to assume other people are normal too. We're not conspiratorial. So for the most part, things probably are as we perceive them to be for a reason. And what we know reality to be is what we know about reality. The stuff you've seen, and were taught, and heard. This is the just world fallacy. Good people do good things and good things happen to them. Bad people do bad things and bad things happen to them. And even if you knew it was ironic memeing at first, your brain's database is full of references that point to certain messages and themes. What conclusion is going to be the first to occur to you? This is where you get beliefs in white supremacy and patriarchy, not explicitly, and it's cringe if you call it that. Based on stuff as innocuous as media and memes, there's a sense of a rightful order of how things typically look, and then something that could be aberrant or weird or not how it's supposed to be. They were handed a stacked deck, so when they see a minority, they think that must be forced diversity, or DEI. It literally is out of their data set for how the world normally works. Priming has now led to beliefs, whether they know it or not. It's also why it's way easier to fall for it if you grow up in a small Midwestern or Southern all-white town and church community, and you're way less likely to fall for it if you yourself are a woman of color in a diverse coastal city. You know how different and complicated the world actually looks. Step 3, activation. Something scary happens, and they reference that against their worldview. They want to rationalize why that happened, and they want to predict what consequences they think will come from it. By now, you don't even have to fully say it. You can just imply it, and they'll fill in the blanks. This is the button that Fox News presses every night. Because it works like clickbait. It's fight or flight panic mode. The motives are primed, and the consequences are not even a slippery slope. Straight up catastrophic thinking. The instant the Charlie Kirk assassination happened, they filled in the blanks of Democrats as the motive, without any facts, and they filled in civil war as the necessary conclusion, lest there be extinction. When the green M&M wore comfortable shoes, they filled in the motive as Democrat manipulation to destroy American culture, and they filled in the consequence as cultural civil war, lest there be extinction. When January 6th happened, they thought they were responding to a problem of evil Democrat manipulation, and they thought the consequences were immediate civil revolution, lest there be extinction. They think good people do good things, so good things must happen to them, and bad people do bad things, so bad things must happen to them. Panic state, fall back on what you instinctively know, look for bad person, hurt bad person. They are still not all aware of what they're doing or why. These people need to calm the fuck down. And what helps is showing them, look, it's not that bad. It's not life or death. They feel their entire world order is about to collapse and they're going to fall off an infinite cliff. They'll act out of self-preservation, white supremacy, like an angry dog when they think you're trying to take their food. They need to calm the fuck down and showing them, hey, gay people can get married, it's not the end of the world, nothing happened, take a breath. But this is often like zombie horde fervor in the moment. They're dangerous, they're out of control, please stay safe. Stage 4 has been here quietly all along. These are conscious, intentional bigots. But when we assume everyone is like them, that radicalizes everyone else to be more like them. These are usually older people, so indoctrinated into these worldviews that they actually believe it as an ideological agenda. They are nasty. They're a little more self-aware. And they're like old white racist country club dudes who could straight up give supervillain monologues all day. And these people feel ethically compelled to push this agenda of you or them, of supremacy. They will intentionally spread memes and messaging, knowing what it is. They will intentionally donate to far-right extremists. This is when bigotry is intentional and it is personal. These are your Heritage Foundation types who feel they want to take over the world and will do so by any means necessary. These are your J.K. Rowlings who are so heavily convinced that the average LGBT person is an average Twitter user that she is throwing money at far-right causes to get rid of them all. These are your Laura Loomers, who seem so weirdly obsessed with trans women specifically. You gotta wonder why, right? Because there's something going on with her own body dysmorphia. Does she feel like she's competing with trans women for some reason? Did she lose a partner to a trans woman? I don't know what her deal is, but I feel like there's something there. It's too personal and animus. But these intentional bigots are always losers, looking for someone to blame. They make their identity, their personality, because they are uninteresting people. And they find existential purpose in dedicating their lives to getting rid of people who are different and better and more interesting than them. To recap, stage 1 culture spreaders, give them some self-awareness. Stage 2, earnest believers, give them historical education. Stage 3, panic mode, ground them with concrete examples. Stage 4, fuck them. Reach the people you can. Do fun, normal things with fun, normal people. It's not your job to reach out to bigots, but it should be very obvious to them they can come in from the cold at any time and start being normal too. The fact is, better, more fulfilling lives are always there, are always an option. They just have to step up and step out. Because the fact is, they could choose a happier, more fulfilling, less cringe life at any time. They should know that's an option. The onus is on them to come back. It's not my job or your job or anyone's job, especially fellow white people who think you're progressive, to apologize for them or do that emotional work for them. Hate is cringe and unimpressive, and they could stop at any time. If anyone doesn't already know this, please look up the amazing Black advocate and jazz musician Daryl Davis, who has personally de-radicalized hundreds of KKK members, including their leadership, simply by existing in proximity to them and being a normal person they could talk to, and showing them how foolish all of their ideas were by being a person. His work is terrifying, and he is extraordinarily brave and very smart. He's figured something out, and more people should listen to him. Whoever you are, hold people who look like you accountable, because hate is always cringe, and then hate is violent. And I like it when people are safe and happy. Like if you agree.